General, how do you think the campaign is going so far?
Well, first of all, I want to credit President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu for the courage that they have displayed here in seizing the historic opportunity. They knew, number one, that the Iranian regime has never been more vulnerable and weaker. And number two, that they were not going to change at all. They have been recovering their missile program rapidly. They have continued to support the proxies. They made the decision to recover their nuclear program, although they haven't acted on it in any consequential way. And they knew that something had to be done, or we're going to throw this regime a lifeline for the next 10 years. They were not about to do that. So what we have on our hands now is a very comprehensive air campaign that's taken place. Listen, we have the two most proven militaries in the world who are conducting their first combined offensive operation together. Admiral Cooper is a proven commander in the Middle East. He commands Central Command. He took over from another capable General Kurilla. He and the IDF have been working on this for months. The details in this campaign are extraordinarily impressive. This is not about days. This is about weeks. This is a major campaign designed to set the conditions for regime collapse. The beginning of the campaign is leaders, and they worked on that. Obviously, civilian and military leaders. Next is air defense systems. Take them down so that our air has complete freedom of action throughout all of Iran. That will be achieved. There is no doubt about that. And then an orchestration of a series of targets in a general sense. The entire infrastructure that sustains this regime will be deliberately and methodically taken apart. From the IRGC, Quds Force, to the Basil militia, to the police, to the entire command and control system that is helping to prop up this regime. We will attack it kinetically, and we will attack it with cyber capability. And obviously, as being reported, the missiles are a major concern. They are short-range and medium-range ballistic missiles. They are a primary target, and they are under attack as we speak. There's also short-range rockets in the hands of the Iranians, and they have thousands of drones. It's unlikely they will use the drones as they did in the past, fly them 6 to 8 hours towards Israel when all of our fighters sit there and wait and put every one of them down, except for one. They will likely use those drones on U.S. bases with their short-range rockets and short-range ballistic missiles. And we are prepared to do that, and the president is right to prepare the American people for casualties here. The Iranians do have a capability, and they obviously have the ability to retaliate, and retaliate they are already doing. But so far, the response from them is weaker than we anticipated it to be, and that is good news. You've got to give credit here for what is happening with our troops and their fortitude and forbearance, as well as the IDF. They are out there risking their lives to do what? To finally, once and for all, to take this diabolical regime off the board that has so killed Americans, destabilized the region, killed tens of thousands of their own citizens that have been in existence almost 50 years. Credit again, President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu for seizing this opportunity to achieve that historic end state.
General, what is the military strategic benefit from starting the campaign in the morning, in daylight?
What we've been trying to achieve here is a degree of tactical surprise. In a sense, certainly the negotiations help to achieve some of that. And some other posturing that has been going on. Some of this has been by design. Some of it has been reality. The tactical surprise that we're seeking is not necessary to take down a missile storage site, but to kill leaders. That was what we were trying to achieve. In other words, you go after the leaders before you even go after the air defense systems that would protect the pilots. And they were likely using standoff weapon systems off the coast of Iran to go after those leaders. The intelligence we have on those leaders is exquisite. Can't get into the details of it. And hopefully we were able to accomplish most of that in doing it. It's impossible, obviously, to get all the leaders that we're targeting. And obviously this operation leaked somehow because media was all over it all last night and yesterday afternoon. And that is unfortunate. And hopefully that didn't give some of these leaders the opportunity to get to an alternate site.
General, you haven't talked about any naval operation. And what about the Strait of Hormuz? That's what they say they're going to try to shut down. There's a fear they'll try to mine. We also got a report about 90 minutes ago. The Houthis made it clear they're going to start attacking us and starting tapping ships and Israel.
Yeah, I left out the naval piece is important. We're taking down their naval infrastructure. So, one, they cannot attack, our ships in any way, even as using it as a suicide. They have many patrol boats and also interfere with Gulf oil operations. So, yes. And there's other targets, specific targets. I'm talking about general targets here that we're not going to go into because they're going to unfold as this campaign continues.
How long do you think the campaign lasts?
Weeks, not days.
General, lastly, do you target the oil?
Say again?
Do you target their oil?
I'm not getting into the specific target list like that.
General Jack Keane, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Historic time.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.